Hey, it's Fox from Inferno Fox Gaming, and this is fine, 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 but let's talk about it. So, the previews for Metroid Prime 4, they haven't gone as well as people would hope, especially thanks to this guy, Wayne Zeliski, Rick Morantz, Miles MacKenzie. And let's just jump into this. Let's get into this why right away. The number one reason, of course, is the overall tonal and atmospheric shift from what we've seen for Metroid Prime 4 thus far, where the overall image that we've got with Metroid Prime 4, based on all the marketing and everything like that, is classic Metroid. You got Samus coming in to save the day. Maybe that mission doesn't go as planned, and we see Samus transported to an unknown but beautiful world. And it's also desolate in nature, and it lends itself to that isolationist view that we often know with Metroid. We're going to get to that. And that this edition of Miles is a general shift with the tone of Metroid overall. Again, as I mentioned, with that isolationist nature, where in previous Metroid games, there's like little to no dialogue whatsoever, save, of course, the big examples of Samus talking to us, the player, in the prologue with games like Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Dread. And I've heard a lot of people say that Miles' dialogue itself is cringe, as the Zoomers and Alphas like to call it. And yeah, maybe it possibly hasn't aged well, but I get it. I understand why these reasons that I mentioned and more might worry you guys, because there are a lot of reasons to worry. As Metroid fans, we know that the series has not been treated as lovingly as we would like by Nintendo, and that is due to the lack of overall releases. I can think of no further than the gap of games between Super Metroid and, of course, Metroid Prime / Metroid Fusion. I mean, come on, it's 8 years. And then, of course, the gap of games between entries like Metroid Prime 3 and Other M, as well as to what we've seen with the Metroid 2 Samus Returns remake. That was another large gap. Also, I said Metroid Other M. It is games like that which we've seen that it seems like Nintendo, they don't get Samus. They don't understand the lore in the universe, that it really doesn't seem like it's been respected when we see stuff like this.
The baby, and the baby, or the baby, of the baby, or the baby.
And really, it also seems like games like Metroid Federation Force, it proves like sometimes Nintendo gives the wrong part of the universe attention. We're not being placed in Samus' shoes as we often should. Now, I'll maintain that Metroid Federation Force is a good game in of itself, if perhaps maybe it was titled something like Federation Force : Metroid Files, or something like that. At the same time, I just want to tell you guys, as a fan of the series, the Metroid series since 1987, calm the f*** down. First off, I'm going to tell you from firsthand experience that I've had playing Metroid Prime 4 back in April of this year. The game is phenomenal. The gameplay is phenomenal. The presentation, the graphics, everything like that, it is great. And while that experience didn't include anything specifically with Miles, the core gameplay is absolutely captured. We know that that's good. We know that that's gold. And I feel like there's a lot of reasons why Miles and other gameplay aspects exist. Because number one, Nintendo needs to appeal to wider audiences. And this type of dialogue, while being Marvel MCU-esque, it does have a certain charm that people do enjoy. I mean, yes, I can see how every character being like Tony Stark-ish can kind of like come off as a little cringe, but you know, I'm gonna go on a sidebar rant about the MCU. Now people are getting all, oh, it's cringe, the MCU, all that stuff. Yet these movies, the MCU movies, made billions of dollars in the box office, and the people want to complain about the dialogue being cringe and all that stuff. I'm betting all those people complaining about the MCU dialogue being cringe were the same ones, or the same hypocrites, whose butts were in the movie theater seats at the time that these movies were out. So you know what? People complaining about the MCU now, I'm pushing you off to the side, because y'all were in those movie theaters. Don't say that you weren't. I have no patience for people. Oh, the MCU is cringe. Y'all are just tired of the superhero movies, which is a valid complaint, but y'all enjoyed the MCU movies at the time, as I did. I enjoyed the MCU movies. I still enjoy them when I rewatch phases 1 through 3. So I own that, and I will happily own that. Getting back to Metroid, another reason why this type of dialogue and gameplay exists is we need to understand that this game's been in development since January of 2019. January 2019 was when Nintendo made that official announcement that they were resetting the development itself, that the path of Metroid Prime 4 wasn't going well, and they were resetting it and using Retro Studios. This is 6 years of time when the core of the game probably developed, and especially developed during the height of the MCU era, and games, of course, like God of War 2018. Choices made both in dialogue as well as in gameplay aspects, where the supporting character might follow the player, are reflective of this time period. And another aspect I want to shout out on, Resident Evil 4. Let's talk about Resident Evil 4 really quick. That's often looked back at as not only one of the best Resident Evil games, but also one of the greatest games of all time. I could feel some of y'all typing in the chat, "Oh, I don't like Resident Evil 4. It wasn't like the original." Think about how well received Resident Evil 4 is in general. A lot of lists and a lot of listicles think that this Resident Evil game is one of the greatest of all time. And that features a supporting character in various escort missions. Ashley, of course, where if she dies, it's an immediate game over.
Leon! Help! Leon! Leon! Leon!
You talk too much.
Help! Leon! Leon!
Little busy at the moment.
Leon!
Stick close. Ashley!
Maybe she gets incapacitated, but after incapacitation, it's an immediate game over. And why does Resident Evil 4 get a pass, but people are freaking out over the game over screen for Miles? Of course, that probably indicates that not only Miles himself, but also other potential escort missions with the Galactic Federation members as well, because of course it looked like there were 6 slots from the gameplay that we've seen, and of course the latest marketing trailer from Nintendo. I have people complaining about this particular aspect, the escort missions. Y'all aren't getting a pass, especially with a lot of people who like Metroid Prime 3, and there's a mission when you are on the space pirate home planet, and you are there to back up other Galactic Federation troopers, and how well you do to keep them alive. Y'all are going to be loving Metroid Prime 3, but you're going to be tanking on this? No, not getting a pass from me. People need to actually play the game before summarily passing judgment based on these previews. And let's talk about Nintendo purposely omitting this aspect, Miles and the Galactic Federation troopers, beyond, of course, the latest trailer. With them omitting it from the marketing materials, people are all up in arms about that. I do think it was indeed purposeful, but not for the reasons that y'all think. What I'm doing here, what is occurring online as of the recording of this video and before, is the reason why. Nintendo wants us to drive engagement. We are driving that. We are talking about Metroid, and we're having discussions, thus boosting Metroid in the overall cultural lexicon. This is very important to have these discussions, because we need to drive this series. This series is very niche. It does not sell well. I could show you chart after chart, but there are those of you that would either deny how well this series sells, or maybe you like to gatekeep and enjoy that this series is niche and that not so many people play it. And the idea that it's niche and that we like to gatekeep it that is poison. That is a poison for any series. And we need Metroid to do well. We need more sales. We need more people to get into this game. And decisions that are being made, for better or worse, are Nintendo's attempt to drum up more attention to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Because if we want more games, Metroid Prime 5, or most importantly, a Metroid 6, this series has to sell. I want more games and newer games in this absolutely fantastic series. No amount of infighting that we do with ourselves is going to change that. So ultimately, we need to wait for this game. We need to wait for Metroid Prime 4 to come out and play this ourselves. Because there are a lot of us that were skeptical about Metroid going 3D in a first-person aspect. And we enjoyed being proven wrong when Metroid Prime came out in 2002 on the GameCube. And I'm hoping on December 4th, those of you whom are still skeptical will enjoy being proven wrong. Don't forget, this is the most important aspect, and that's the fact that this is being helmed by the geniuses at Retro Studios. After what they've done with both the Metroid series and Donkey Kong, I am fully confident in their efforts. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, or don't, whatever. Try to have yourselves a good day out there, people. And remember, of course, we've still got masterpieces like Super Metroid, Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Dread, Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Fusion, AM...